for the Week 2 predictions. First off, we have the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. Kansas City has never beaten Peyton Manning under his era as a Denver Bronco. That's about to change. The Kansas City Chiefs pulled this win off. They're at home with that 142.2 decibel level crowd. That's an NFL record, and you thought Seattle was loud? They have amazing fans. Kansas City's right up there with them. Look for Kansas City's defense with Justin Houston, Tamba Hali. They got Eric Berry back in the secondary. Travis Kelce looked great offensively as the tight end, and Alex Smith, as I said, loves his tight ends. Look for them to have a big game. The Kansas City Chiefs go on and win at home against the Denver Broncos, move on to 2-0. The Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Wow, what a disappointment the Vikings were Monday night. I guess we all overhyped the Minnesota Vikings, the NFL analysts, me, myself. A lot of people thought they'd be a lot better than what they showed Monday night. I guess we keep forgetting they're a 5-11 team 2 years ago and a 7-9 team last year. They're not that great of a team. They're still figuring it out. Teddy Bridgewater struggled. Look for Detroit, who had a 21-3 lead over San Diego and blew it. They're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings, even if it isn't Minnesota. Look for Detroit to win that game. And New Orleans Saints at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, baby, who dat nation? New Orleans is definitely going to win this game. Brandon Cooks is going to have a big one. Look for Coleman, the new red zone target, to have a big game as well. Drew Brees will have a monster game. The Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Alright, I guess we underhyped the 49ers. Looks like they actually look pretty decent. I was surprised Monday night with all those free agent losses. You know, everyone leaving for free agency. Frank Gore to the Colts. Crabtree to the Raiders, Iupati to the Cardinals, the whole scandals. That team looked in ruins, and they came out to play, and they won that game handedly. Defense looked great, but the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road in Heinz Field, Big Ben in that offense, way too much. Even without Le'Veon, Martavius Bryant, Pouncey, they can still win that game. I think the Niners defense will get a bit exposed. I don't think the Vikings were that talented. Like I said, we overhyped the Vikings, we underhyped the 49ers, but the Steelers are actually a very good team. And even with all those losses, they'll still defeat the 49ers. They go 1-1. The Niners also go 1-1. The St. Louis Rams at the Washington Redskins. Simple as that. Without Deshaun Jackson, the Redskins can't win this game. The St. Louis Rams take it, even if it is on the road. St. Louis goes to 2-0. The Chicago Bears at home against the Arizona Cardinals. This is my first big upset of the week. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears. I honestly think Matt Forte had a great game. Cutler may not be that great, but Fangio coaches a great defense. He will send the blitz to Carson Palmer. This will be a good one, but I think the Chicago Bears win this game. They go to 1-1 as well. The New York Giants at home against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to take the Giants here. I think they're going to rebound, get it together. The Falcons are a good home team, not exactly a great road team. So I'm going to take the New York Giants in this game. Odell Beckham should have a good game as well. Buffalo Bills at home against the New England Patriots. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. That's a rivalry game right there. You know Brady's going to come out to play, but you also know Rex Ryan hates him. He stayed in the division just so he can get his hands on Tom Brady, this time with one of the best defenses, and in my opinion, the best defensive front in the NFL. I am going to take the Buffalo Bills to beat the New England Patriots. The Buffalo Bills are going to be 2-0 to start the season. Carolina Panthers at home against the Houston Texans. This one is going to be an interesting game. I don't think it'll be very exciting, very low scoring most likely. Carolina could pull away. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers to win this game. They go 2-0. Tennessee Titans at the Cleveland Browns. Wow, Marcus Mariota, He showed up big time. Look for him to beat a depleted Cleveland Browns squad. They really don't have much of an offense. The Titans win that game. San Diego Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Wow. Cincinnati showed up, and they showed up hard. They've started 3-0 last year. Wow, they may do it again this year. They really clobbered the Oakland Raiders. The Cincinnati Bengals look like a very tough team to beat. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. The Miami Dolphins at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look for the Dolphins to win that game. I think that's no surprise. The Jaguars will keep it close. Allen Hurns may have a big game as well, but look for the Dolphins to win this game. Now, the Raiders at home against the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be an interesting game. John Harbaugh's never gone 0-2 in his coaching career with the Baltimore Ravens. That's about to change. The Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, or O.co, whatever you want to call it, they were disappointed. Sunday, the Raiders did not show up to play. Derek Carr left very early with a thumb injury. He seems like he's on track to play. I think look for Latavius Murray to actually get the ball this time and make a big difference. He's going to run well on the Baltimore Ravens. The Raiders win in a huge upset. O.co's going crazy. Raiders move to 1-1. So Baltimore with a shocking 0-2 deficit. The Philadelphia Eagles at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Look for the Philadelphia Eagles to get back on track. They barely lost the Falcons in Atlanta, which is a very tough place to play. Sam Bradford has a big game, and Demarco playing his old team, he'll get his vengeance. The Philadelphia Eagles win that game. And now we're at Sunday Night Football. Yes, check it out on NBC. The Green Bay Packers at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you know the likelihood of 0-2 teams making the playoffs is very slim. The Seattle Seahawks will start 0-2, yet they'll still make the playoffs. That's my prediction. But they're going to lose this game to the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams is going to have a monster game. Look for the other guys as well. I mean, Eddie Lacy's great. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Lambeau Field, expect to see a few Lambeau leaps. It's going to be a good game. And now we get to Monday Night Football. The Indianapolis Colts at home against the New York Jets. Wow. I was surprised. I did not expect Buffalo to show up that well against Indy. Andrew Luck just looked so out of it. He did not look like Andrew Luck. Let's put it like that. That's what the Buffalo Bills front seven does to you. The Jets front seven is also very talented. New coach Todd Bowles is there to make that defense a defense to be reckoned with. I still think the Colts win this one. It's going to be close. I think Andre Johnson gets a touchdown in this game. Gore will also open up the run. Look for the tight ends, especially in the center of the field or on the 50-yard line. Kobe Fleener and Dwayne Allen are going to get a lot of targets this game. The Colts win this game. It's going to be pretty interesting. And finally, we have our fantasy predictions. At the quarterback position, we got to start Big Ben. Ben Roehtlisberger is the perfect start of the week. Look for him to destroy that 49ers secondary. They did look good against Minnesota, but they will get exposed, as I said earlier this week. Antonio Brown will have a big game. D'Angelo Williams will have a good game rushing and receiving. They have Darius Hayward-Bay. Even he can go off against that 49ers secondary. Marcus Whedon, Heath Miller. I see Big Ben tossing between 3 to 4 touchdowns. They win handedly in Heinz Field. At the running back position, Mr. Vengeance, DeMarco Murray. He wants his revenge. You already know. He was disgraced by Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. They made him feel like he was worthless. Chip Kelly said, hey, come into Philadelphia. You have a starting spot on my team. Look for him in front of his new home, Philadelphia Eagles. Fans are going to cheer him on. DeMarco Murray runs for over 100, 120 yards. Gets a pair of touchdowns, one receiving, one rushing. Look for him to have a very nice game. At the wide receiver position, the first one, A.J. Green against the San Diego Chargers. Dalton may not be that great, but look for A.J. Green to rebound. He didn't look so great last week, but they were really dominating the Raiders. They didn't even have to pass the ball. They were just rushing for the entire second half. So look for A.J. Green to have a monster game against an average San Diego Chargers secondary. Antonio Brown is the second wide receiver to start. I know I said Big Ben, but I just really think Antonio's going to have a monster game as well. The 49ers can't cover him. He's one of the best route runners in the NFL. You really think they can cover him? Absolutely not. Antonio has a monster game. I'd say at least 120 to 150 receiving yards, maybe a touchdown or two. Look for Antonio to have a huge game. And plus, he's basically the only guy. Wheaton may be nice. So is Heath Miller. But without Martavius Bryant, they rely heavily on Antonio Brown. The short ball, the deep ball, he's everything for that team receiving-wise. At the tight end position, Martellus Bennet. Okay, look for the Chicago Bears to use him heavily. After all, Kevin White is out for the season. Yes, they have Alshon Jeffrey, but do you really think they're going to be able to attack with that secondary of the Arizona Cardinals? Look for the tight end to be open a lot, and in this case, it's Martellus Bennet. Arizona Cardinals cannot cover the tight end very well. And the defense to start for the week, we said it earlier, Monday Night Football, the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're going to have a great game. Look for Vontae Davis to be a shutdown corner. The Jets really don't have much of a passing attack or running attack. Yeah, Chris Harvey looked good last week, but they're going to struggle this week. Yeah, they have Brandon Marshall. He is quite something else, but away in that Indianapolis environment, they got embarrassed last week. Look for them to attack defensively and offensively this week. The Indianapolis Colts win this game and win this game handedly. Their defense goes off. The kicker, our favorite position, I'm going to say Greg Zurlein. He's at the Washington Redskins. They don't really have many targets to score touchdowns with. Yeah, they got Benny Cunningham, but I don't see them getting a lot of touchdowns. I see the Zurleinator getting a lot of field goals. Look for Greg Zurlein to have at least 3 or 4, I'd say 2 40 to 50 yard ones. And I'd say one, lower than 30 yards and one between 30 to 40 yards. He'll have around 4 field goals. That's a great stat line for a kicker. And now a couple of sleepers. I know people forget about him, which is ridiculous. But Drew Brees, the guy's at home. He's back in the Superdome around his Mercedes-Benz Who Dat Nation fans. Look for the Saints to have a big game. Offensively, Drew Brees tosses 3 to 4 touchdowns. You saw what Mariota did to the Buccaneers. Just imagine what Drew Brees is going to do. Second sleeper, I think Latavius Murray is going to have a big game. The Raiders did not hand him the ball off last week, and the guy is poised for a breakout season. That offensive line is actually looking very good. That whole team just completely collapsed week 1. They did not come out ready to play. Momentum of losing your quarterback was big. Look for Latavius Murray to have a big game and help the Raiders seal a huge upset over the Baltimore Ravens. Thank you guys. Have a good week and keep enjoying football. Week 2, tune in for next week. Thank you.